guys? It's Unmasked here, and today we have an interesting video. This is not a gameplay video or a let's play. We actually have a hit piece today. This is Anthmags72, another one of these Nintendo Shill fanboys. Now, I know you see me doing my Mario Kart Deluxe 8 content. There ain't no beef because of that. This isn't that, that's not why. Don't just think of this as me repping Mario Kart 8 Deluxe over Mario Kart World, even though I absolutely am. That's not what this video is. There are two issues that I have with this video. The two issues that I have with this video and this guy is, number one, his delusion. In the end of the video, and we'll get to that in a second, but we're going to start with the end of the video because I think the conclusion paints a picture for the entire video. And it's the same issue that I've had throughout the entire video, which is, to summarize, this guy actively hates all of the things that made Mario Kart Deluxe 8 good, while actively ignoring all of the things that make Mario Kart World bad. And before you say, well, actually, he says in the video, he talks about the fact that there's no 200cc, and he even calls out the straight line simulator. But here's the issue. I'm not even going to say anything further. Let's just get into the video. We're going to start with the ending, and you'll see exactly what I mean. You'll see exactly what I mean. But without further ado, we're going to get into it.
Looking from a window above, it's like a story of love.
No, we're not helping him out. Ain't no
There and wrap up the rest of the video.
Not with how much of a shill this guy is, trying to drain people's bank accounts by supporting this corrupt, disgusting company. You might say, well, aren't you making Nintendo content too? Jackass. I paid $130 for the Switch 1. No, I paid $130 for Mario Kart Deluxe 8 with the Switch 1. And I paid for it from somebody else on eBay. You thought I was paying for it directly from Nintendo. You had me messed up. Anyway, let's get on with it. So this guy has his conclusion, right? Right. And his by the way, this was the main thing that upset me because we're literally gonna work backwards here. So
Looking from a window
supposedly YouTube was gonna give him his ad revenue anyway.
above, it's like
I believe that wraps up all of the points I wanted to address about Mario Kart World.
We'll talk about the points that he addressed after we talk about the conclusion, because I have a lot to say about the conclusion.
Now, there really is no bad Mario Kart in my opinion, and my favorite part about the series is that every installment feels totally different from one another. So, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe definitely still has its place in Mario Kart infamy. But I believe World blew 8 Deluxe out of the water in ways that people never imagined possible. It was hard to think of ways 8 Deluxe could be improved due to...
See, okay, I'm gonna pause him right here. I don't disagree with this, by the way. I think that the mechanics in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are amazing. Or, excuse me, Mario Kart World is amazing. This is not the problem that I had. For all the people thinking that, oh, I'm just butthurt because World is mechanically better than 8 Deluxe, no. This is going to be
the sheer quantity of content in that game, but Nintendo knew the best way to do so is to rev up the driving, mechanics, and tech for the new game. Overall, why I think Mario Kart World is so much better than...
So here's the first problem that we have here. He says rev up the driving and the mechanics for the new game. I'll agree with the mechanics. The new mechanic that they introduced for the game is brilliant. Nobody's arguing against that. But where's 200cc? He even mentions this in the video. He mentions this in the video, talking about how, I can't really comment on that because maybe it'll come out in a DLC in the future. Who knows? Hey, dumbass. Guess what had 200cc at launch? Yeah? Should we go back to the game that he was holding up? Hell, damn, I wish I had my camera connected. I would pull up the blocks that I got right here. The Mario Kart Deluxe 8. You know I had 200cc at launch? But no. See, and we're not even gonna get to the biggest issue yet. He's about to address it. If you wait just a second, he's about to address it.
Deluxe, and right behind Wii in my opinion, is because of how technical the game is and how smooth the driving and movement is as well.
This is another thing, but I'm gonna address this later in the video. He keeps talking about Mario Kart Wii like it's the best Mario Kart. Mario Kart Wii is so simple. Mechanically speaking, it is the most simple game I have ever seen in my entire life. When I play Mario Kart Wii, the things that I love about Mario Kart Wii is its simplicity. I feel like Mario Kart Wii over Mario Kart Deluxe 8. Why? Because they don't add all of this bullshit into the game to make it convoluted and complicated. It's just a simple racing simulator with good old-fashioned Mario Kart mechanics. Such as like the item boxes and the bullet bill and the ground pound. Everything is so simple in that game. And the game's core key aspect and focus was learning the track. He even mentions this in the video. Learning the tracks better. Do you know what game arguably does that way better than Mario Kart World? Mario Kart Deluxe 8. Do you know I'm playing through Mario Kart Deluxe 8 and there are certain portions where if I get squid inked, I can't see, and I am going to immediately end up falling off of the map because there are so many turns, and it always happens at the most inconvenient time. But I'll save that for a Mario. And honestly, I'm so sad I lost the footage because I just beat 2 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Cups in a row. It was crazy on 150cc. It was actually crazy, but that's besides the point. Let's stay on topic here.
Just such a breath of fresh air to so many of us that were starved of actual game-defining mechanics that weren't seen in 8 Deluxe. That, combined with the
game-defining mechanics. You know what he doesn't ever mention in this video? And we're gonna go back, and we're gonna go through every chapter, and I'm gonna summarize the points. And if you want to watch the full thing for yourself, you can. I'll say that multiple times. I will put the link in the description. But do you know what he doesn't mention about Mario Kart Deluxe 8? Do you know what this bozo doesn't mention about Mario Kart Deluxe 8? Do you know what he doesn't mention about Mario Kart Deluxe 8? The anti-gravity mechanics. Do you know what the coolest thing is? I'm playing Mario Kart Deluxe 8. I will look up at any given point in time in the race and realize, oh my god, the tracks are like wrapping around itself. It's the craziest thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Sure, the anti-gravity doesn't offer that much in terms of gameplay mechanics, but it offers a whole lot in the visual department. Like, what are you talking about? And meanwhile, like, I'm not even going to sit here and argue against the graphics in Mario Kart Deluxe 8 versus Mario Kart World, because obviously Mario Kart World has better graphics. Obviously. It's a newer game. What do you expect from a multi-billion... I'm sure that Nintendo is a multi-billion-dollar company. What do you expect from a multi-billion or million-dollar company when releasing a new game on a new console? In fact, they tried to release Mario Kart World for the Switch One, and they couldn't because the hardware was just too ass. So what do you expect? Of course you expect good graphics. Nobody's complaining about that. Do you know what people are complaining about? Nah, we'll get to that later. We will. We'll get to that later. He's about to. If you just hold on, he's about to. He is about to. He's about to say the core reason for why I have to sit here and put a hit piece on this jackass.
reworked items makes it to where the races just feel so much better. It gives so much of us a purpose to hop on the game and grind the tracks. The shortcuts are so fun, and I have a blast learning new things about the tracks every day in an attempt to become more competitive online.
I'll touch on this later as well in the video, but I agree with that too. Like, from the gameplay that I've seen, now I have to say that I have not personally played Mario Kart World. Right, I have not played. So if you're going to sit here and discredit my opinion because I haven't played Mario Kart World, you feel free to do so. Feel free. Feel free to do so. But here's what I will say. From the game, I'm going to try to be as fair as possible with my assessment on Mario Kart World. I absolutely love the gameplay mechanics, and I absolutely love that that it's way more creative. Okay? Those are two positives for Mario Kart. So don't sit here and say that I'm not saying anything good about Mario Kart World, because I'm about to go in on it. I am about to go in on Mario Kart World.
Roam and the rewind feature are such good tools for helping with practice, as you can position yourself in front of a shortcut and practice it as many times as you want, and if you fail, just rewind. It almost feels like we're working with save states. 8 Deluxe is a great game, don't get me wrong, but unless you're...
Pause, no, I can't let that one slide. I can't. I'm somebody who loves racing games. I played through all of Forza Horizon 4 and 5. I didn't play through the earlier ones because, broke gamer, you know how that is. I couldn't keep up with the new consoles and the $60 games. But the minute that Xbox released their Game Pass and they started putting shit like Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5 on it, you bet your sorry ass that I played through both of those. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am a big fan of racing games. That doesn't just include Mario Kart. And it's crazy, too, because the whole reason why I got the Switch was because I saw that Mario Kart World was getting released. And I'm like, I haven't played Mario Kart in, nearly a decade. That's crazy. I'm going to have to get up on Mario Kart. And I realized I never really played... I played Mario Kart 8. I think it was 8. It could have been on the Wii U, but I've never had a Wii U. So it might have been in my childhood. Literally, the only times I played Deluxe 8 or 8 was, almost a decade ago. This game's been out for 10 years. And honestly, I'll say it right now, I think that the real reason why you have people like this is because they're just tired of playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 8 or Deluxe 8 8 Deluxe. Same thing. They I bet they just have some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe fatigue, and that's it. Because if you actually see, let me just play the video, because he still has yet to get to the point that pissed me off.
An ultra-competitive player, it gets stale for most people after a while, and they're just gonna move on. There's just not a lot of excitement, and the skill ceiling is pretty reachable. But the distinctiveness that World provides to casual and competitive players alike makes me predict that this game will last a while. Just fix the straight lines, please, Nintendo. But my final verdict is that this game is absolutely better than 8 Deluxe. Feel free to disagree, but I think the driving and tracks alone make this game so much more fun and exciting.
See how he's lying? Do you see how he's lying? Why can't World fill lobbies? Huh? Why can't World fill lobbies? Just outright lying. I still get full lobbies playing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The lying is crazy. Because look, and I'm gonna explain, because I left a comment on his video. I left 2 comment threads on his video. The first comment thread was alright, he responded to it. The second one got deleted in a half a second. And I'm gonna get to it, because I left the first, actually, no, we're gonna do it right now, because I left the first comment thread, before I finished this video, and I didn't even really see anything like this. Okay, this was the first comment thread I left. I said, and it's fitting because I literally just said this. I said, this is how I know you're lying to yourself. Mario Kart Deluxe 8 Deluxe has 200cc, and it feels like lightning. Constantly okay. So I guess I didn't want to do it like this because I wanted to go through the conclusion first, and then I wanted to get. But 4354. I'm gonna have to click this. I'm gonna have to click this so that you know what I'm talking about. No, we don't need to pull it up. Just go to it in the video.
Reach your impossible, Lenovo Legion.
Because I'm telling
You
the
got
next
the magic touch.
I was just like, okay.
Riding on walls.
And okay, this guy, it's fine. I disagree with this guy, right? We can agree to disagree. This is kind of how I was feeling at this point in the video. I was like, okay, agree to disagree.
Deluxe feels now to me. It just feels so stiff now when it comes to drifting and handling compared to the looser controls of World.
See, I can't speak on that at all because I have not played Mario Kart World, and I'm not going to pretend like I can speak on that. I don't know how Mario Kart World feels to drive in. That's fair. So I'm not going to say anything about that. But here's what I will say.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe even felt slower to an extent because there's...
Hey, dumbass. How is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe slower when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has 200cc? It has 200cc.
Really less to do on the track compared to World, where you're constantly tricking and riding on walls.
So his point doesn't get any less correct. It doesn't get any more correct, rather. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. And so what he says is, can't really relate to the constantly falling off. He thought he had a gotcha moment. Like, it's my first time playing through Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, jackass. You expect me to be some guy that spent 80,000 hours into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Hey, I'm glad you got it at launch, but I didn't. And I'm personally enjoying the game for how it is right now. I'm just telling you, you're being blinded by your 8 Deluxe fatigue. But comparing 200cc to 150cc doesn't really seem fair when assessing the pace of the mechanics during the race. We'll likely get 200cc in the future, so hold your breath. Hey, dumbass. We're comparing... Do I need to scroll back up to the title of this dumbass's video? I will say this so much that if this video blows up, I will get demonetized. I'm so serious. Mario Kart World is a massive... I'm going to highlight it because this is unreal. Is a massive... Uh-oh, I did too much. Mario Kart World is a massive upgrade over 8 Deluxe. Hey, jackass. Hey, jackass. You can't really compare 200cc to 150cc. We're talking about the games entirely. We are not talking about 150cc. We are talking about the games entirely. What are you talking about? If you make the statement that Mario Kart World is better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, then you have to actually make the argument that it's better. You can't just sit here and dismiss the things that you don't. But I'll get to that later. We're not there yet. That was the main issue that I had with his talking points. But we haven't even gotten to the part that really pissed me off. You want to hear me pissed off? We haven't even gotten to it yet. I think we were at like 43 something. You know, we were a little bit past this point.
Deluxe is a great game, don't get me wrong, but unless you're an ultra-competitive player, it gets stale for most people after a while, and they're just gonna move on. There's just not a lot of excitement, and the skill ceiling is...
Move on to what? Nobody's playing through Mario Kart World. Nobody's playing Mario Kart World online. Move on to what? Knockout Tour? Yeah, Knockout Tour is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna let it slide for now.
Pretty reachable, but the distinctiveness that World provides to casual and competitive players alike makes me predict that this game will last a while. Just fix the straight lines, please, Nintendo.
Didn't Mario Kart World already die? I don't remember if he says it in the end, in the conclusion, or if he says it in the section before, but he literally said, the day Mario Kart World died. You talked about it surviving for decades, and it's already dead. What are we talking about, dude? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to outlive your children. Your children's children. Okay, probably not, but you get the point.
But my final verdict is that this game is absolutely better than 8 Deluxe.
Lying to him, but that's not the point. That's not what pissed me off.
Free to disagree, but I think the driving and tracks alone make this game so much more fun and exciting to play. However, if there was anything I did not mention for either game, feel free to drop a comment and we can get a good discussion going. I just ask again to keep the comments civil and respectful, please, so refrain from insults, rudeness, or any brain-dead buzzword like rage bait, skill issue, or cope as your...
Okay, jackass. I left a respectful comment and he deleted it within 2 seconds. I can't even pull up the comment, but I can tell you exactly what I said. But we're gonna have to wait because this still isn't the part that pissed me off yet. This isn't the part that pissed me off. Let us continue.
Argument. This isn't Twitter, Reddit, or Blue Sky, so screw off if you're gonna be a dick. One thing that I also request in the comments is that we refrain from using the price of the game.
Okay, jackass! What do you think people are upset about? You think people are just upset for nothing? Okay, this was it. This is why I made this fucking video. Jackass, look at this. Look at this. I don't even know what to say at this point. So I made a comment talking about I just lost respect for you. And I said that in the most respectful way because I could have been like how I am right now. I said and this was the moment that and I put the timestamp too. I said this was the moment I lost respect for you. This was the moment. This jackass doesn't want us to complain about the price when the price is the primary reason for why we're complaining about the game. How does this make sense? How does this make sense? I literally said in my comment, word for word, the price is 90% of the reason why we're complaining about the game. If the game was $50 and maybe it was like $40 with the launch, then guess what? We'd have no issue. We'd have no issue, okay, with this game being so ridiculously bland. Sorry, I got distracted because I got a phone call like midpoint. Okay, what I said was we wouldn't have an issue with this game. What I said was, you think I care about the fact that there's no 200cc? You think I care about the fact that the open world is plain? I said, you think I care about the fact that it's basically straight line simulator? You think I care about the fact that I keep getting a phone. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Like, I keep getting a phone call and I'm trying to focus and concentrate and I can't. You think I care about the fact that I don't even remember what the last point was that I made. That Mario Kart World was a half-baked game at launch. Do you think I care about the fact that I said that you have to go on Discord servers, just to play the game? No, I don't care about that if the game is $50, but it's the fact that Nintendo had the audacity, and this is what I said, to launch this game for more money on a glorified Amazon Kindle Fire. Yes, I said that. And my comment got deleted so fast. I went to make an edit because I had like a grammatical error or something, and my comment got deleted so fast. Like, how on God's green earth are you going to sit here and say, oh, but you can, I want open discussion in the comment section, but you can't talk about anything that actually points to this game being an absolute shame and an absolute failure of a launch title. But I digress. We're going to get into this video. So this is why, okay, so to put that into perspective, now we have to go watch through the video. We're not going to watch through the entire thing. We're just going to, we're going to go through section by section items. We don't really need to talk about, there were a couple of things that I had a problem with like the items, like mainly, see, okay, well, I'll
nerfed in the jump between 8 Deluxe and World. First being the Bullet Bill. The Bullet Bill still has all its same qualities, but now does not flip over. Use the items.
Basically what he was saying about the Bullet Bill was that the Bullet Bill is a little bit smarter. They made the Bullet Bill a little bit better in World, which I don't know. I don't have a problem with, like,
A's in the item.
Too much to say about the items, but there was something. I feel like there was something in here that he said that I was kind of upset with, which is just basically the idea that what he was complaining about in Mario Kart Deluxe 8 is mainly the fact that Nintendo relied so heavily. I don't remember if he said it in the items, but he kind of said it a little in the items, talking about how the items are a little bit too OP, and then he mentioned it when he was talking about the green shell. Where is it? Shells. Yeah, here we go.
More than 3 seconds without getting hit was impossible. The developers of Mario Kart World seem to understand well that if they wanted to give 24 players double items, they needed to adjust the stun time as well as open the track so racers can actually breathe and not get perpetually hit by miscellaneous items as much. It's easy to make a direct comparison of these items between the two games because
which doesn't make any sense, by the way. If you think about this logically, it makes zero sense. There are more players in Mario Kart World, so you have a higher chance of getting hit with more items in Mario Kart World. How does any of this make sense? Like, if you actually stop to think about what he's saying. Like, and I can sit here and do this for every single chapter. Like there are certain points that he makes. It'll definitely come later in the video as he starts to talk more about the racing and whatnot. But Um,
All but 2 items from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe made it into Mario Kart World. So
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Not the biggest fan of either of these items in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but they don't ruin the game for me.
let's see. I think the change they made to the bullet bill was positive because it would be too broken if it can pulverize 10 racers at once. Also, the bullet bill seems to be smarter in World and capable of taking shortcuts if directed to. The change to the Boo is amazing, and I feel like there are so many off-road shortcuts the
This is also very cool.
item can utilize now while staying invincible and stealing an item from another racer. The Fire Flower I like because it's less powerful, and I feel like giving a larger dodge time frame to the blue shell is better for casuals because 8 Deluxe was almost 2 frame perfect.
Yeah, but like, what are you playing the game for if you're not trying to get good? See, this is okay. So remember how I said in the beginning of this video that he was going to make some points about Mario Kart Wii, and he was going to say why he loves Mario Kart Wii. And later in the video, he even talks about how he loves Mario Kart Wii because Mario Kart Wii makes you have to learn the tracks in order to get better at them. Here's my problem with this, right? Here's my problem with this. When I watch Mario Kart Wii footage, and I mean professional Mario Kart Wii footage, granted, I am the average Mario Kart Wii player. I am the average Mario Kart 8 Deluxe player. I have not nearly touched the realm of professional yet, where I'm actively, like, I think I hit one shortcut, and that's on DK Mountain on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's it. Like, I'm not really like that. You know what I mean? But these guys that are like that in Mario Kart Wii, I've seen it for myself. They will take their Funky Kongs and they will hit the frame perfect jumps and shortcuts, making it so satisfying when you finally learn them. So when he has the audacity to say that it feels like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe doesn't have to be so, or World doesn't have to be so frame perfect and it's good for new, like, he has backtracked on so many. It's like, why would you like Mario Kart Wii then? Mario Kart Wii is the very antithesis of what you're talking about. Anyway, I digress. We're next section. Mechanics. I have no issue. Like, okay, so basically what he says for mechanics is he absolutely. Oh well. No, I will. There's certain parts in this that I'm gonna play.
Who's the track for?
Love was nearly lost until Pizza Hut showed up.
Go get her. Hi, I'm Peter. Looks like
Track for the majority of the lap. I can't express how much we
I do get Hulu with that. That's besides the point. Okay, that is besides the point.
needed this back in the series, as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was very much lacking in the mechanics field. The game felt too vanilla, and like there were no out-of-this-world shortcuts or strategies that completely exploited the track.
Now, I wanted to let him finish his point. Now, I agree with the shortcuts, and I agree also with the idea that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like you're stuck to the track. But he has a habit in this section, and for a good majority of this video, like he just forgets about anti-gravity. Like he forgets about the anti-gravity mode that they added to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which arguably I feel like makes Mario Kart 8 Deluxe better than Mario Kart World from the footage that I've seen. Like, you look up on the track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and you just see somebody driving on top of you, and that's the craziest thing to me. You're on Shy Guy Falls, you literally start the race looking at the waterfall that you go up and down. Oh, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has no mechanics. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has no mechanics. It's so boring. So boring. Oh my, how could a racing simulator possibly be so boring? Racing Simulator needs to have everything in it. Racing Simulator needs to allow you to strap a rocket to your car, hit rocket ramps and shit, and do transformations like in GTA 5. It needs to be an open world like GTA 5. In fact, yeah, you need to be able to add a platforming aspect to Mario Kart World and just make Mario Kart World the next Super Mario 3D platformer. Yeah, and then make it so that you could get in the car and then get out of the car, and there's an online race section. Stop it. Stop. That's basically what he's saying for this entire section. It's just a good majority of it was just the rail mechanics, the creativity aspect, and the rail mechanics and the wall riding, and I don't disagree. Like, obviously you introduce a new mechanic to the game, it's gonna be way better. I agree. But damn. The whole aspect of him just actively ignoring the fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I wish I could play through the entire thing, but we'd be here for 2 hours if that was the case. So if you want to verify what I'm saying, go ahead and watch the video for yourself. But that's essentially what he had to say about the mechanics. Let me see, what is that? Chapter 3, driving. Okay, this is the section, driving miscellaneous. What does Mario Kart 8 Deluxe do better? So these two sections right here, these two sections are the sections where I'm really going to go off. I'm going to skim through miscellaneous because I don't remember what he said during miscellaneous. But let's just get to chapter 3, driving, because this is really where it's at right here. That I will die on this hill that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is better driving.
This chapter aims to compare just a standard driving that doesn't relate to a specific game's gimmick or tech. First, let's talk about how good Mario Kart World's handling is. For some reason, Nintendo decided...
Cap. Now, I'm going to say I haven't played Mario Kart World, so I don't know about the handling. Like I said that earlier. I can't speak on it. But I'm just going to say, Cap, one thing, I have a love-hate relationship with the drifting in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I hate the drifting because it feels so weird in comparison to every other racing game's drifting mechanics. Like, but the fact that the drifting is so cartoonish in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe makes me love it, because it feels so rewarding whenever you get the timings down and whenever you learn and start to master the track. It feels so rewarding. It genuinely does. And it's the same feeling, right, with landing the tricks on the rails and stuff and doing the short. But he's not talking about that. He already spent the last section talking about the mechanics, and he gets 1 point in mechanics. What was the first part? Items. Nah. I'm deducting a point from him in items, and here's why. I don't like that they made coins a bigger thing in Mario Kart World. Like, I hate the coin mechanic with a burning passion. They added a coin block, and they added the coin shell, and they added coins, and I don't like it. I don't like the coins. I don't like them in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I don't like them in Mario Kart World. It's just that simple.
To give karts in Mario Kart World some of the best handling in the series. Handling, for those who don't know, is how well your karts turn without initiating a drift. In this game, you're able to turn so much more without having the drift than you could in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is so helpful when it comes to aligning your driving for dodging hazards, executing shortcuts, or taking slight turns as fast as possible without ruining your line with a drift. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, handling was much weaker as you lost a significant amount of speed by turning too much without drifting. That's why in that game, hopping was a very common way of realigning your kart. In Mario Kart World, hopping reduces your speed pretty noticeably, so it's not as optimal of a strategy to hop in succession in order to adjust your angle, but adding better handling and drifting, as I'm about to mention, is a great way to compensate for that. After playing Mario Kart World for a month or so, I went back to 8 Deluxe to test how the two games control, and holy moly was I blown away by how foreign 8 Deluxe feels now to me. It just feels so stiff now.
Yeah, I kind of get what he's saying, but I personally like the stiffness of 8 Deluxe. Like, for example, it's like going from Mario Kart Wii to going to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, 8 Deluxe just has a completely different set of mechanics. Now, personally, I got a little distracted because I got another text message from the same person that was calling me several times earlier. But, to his last point, okay, it just like all the things that he's saying are good about Mario Kart World are essentially all of the things that he's saying that are bad about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. He'll sit here and say, "Oh, well, I personally like that the handling is better in this game, and I personally don't like the drifting feels tighter in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that you have to counter hop in order to correct your course." And it's like, I don't know. I personally like that mechanic. I think it makes the game really fun. That like you drift, and if you like mess up your drift, you're gonna mess up driving. And personally, me, like I think it makes the game challenging from a racing standpoint. Everything that he's saying about Mario Kart World makes the game easier to physically play. There's no problem with that, but I've noticed something with Nintendo. Like, don't forget, Nintendo used to be an arcade company. Arcade games are supposed to be hard on purpose to make you want to play them again. And it just seems like, and I wasn't going to say this because I couldn't really pinpoint something specific, right? It's just going to be the vibe that I get from listening to this entire thing, and I encourage you to go watch his whole video. But towards the end, there in the conclusion, he even says you know, oh well, don't leave comments like, oh, get good, you're just trash garbage. And it's like the reason, and no, because now I'm gonna do this, because what's so crazy about that is that he did it himself. This jackass did it himself. He did it fucking self. He did it right here. Yeah, but we're comparing the games as, oh wait, no, this, excuse me. Can't really relate to the constantly falling off the track part. Jackass, didn't you just say no get good comments? This bitch is the biggest asshole ever. And you know what's crazy about this? He really is a bitch because he's sucking the dick of the Nintendo Corporation. Why? What did this company do for you? They extorted the fuck out of you. They're ruining the gaming industry by pricing games at $80. I've never seen this in my entire... I see people talking about the shilling of Nintendo fanboys, but it really is bad. It's bad. This company's got you by the balls deep in nostalgia. Like, I don't know what to say anymore. But going back to the video, his reasons for liking Mario Kart World, essentially what I'm going to say and the argument that I'm going to make is his reasonings for Mario Kart World seem very inconsistent. And honestly, this entire video, I don't know if I said it earlier, but this entire video just seems like a massive, I bought Mario Kart World and nobody's playing it, so you should buy Mario Kart World too so that more people can play it. Nobody wants to buy Mario Kart World if it's going to be a half-baked, half-assed game, and they're going to price it for more money than the last one. And they're going to price the console for more money when the console doesn't even have an OLED screen. But this isn't about the Switch 2. Save that for another video. And even then, like, I personally like the Switch 2, but I think, well... See, I say that, but then there's so many glaring issues with the Switch 2. And now I can go on an entire rant about how ass Nintendo is with the launch of the Switch 2. Not letting you do anything with your fucking console is disgusting. It's a piece of hardware I own. Who are you to tell me what to do with it? But that's besides the point, okay? I don't like this whole idea that Nintendo is basically going the Apple route. And people are saying Disney. People are saying, oh, Disney, you know, Satoru Iwata died, R.I.P. Stan Lee died, R.I.P. Disney went woke and it became garbage, R.I.P. Disney. You know, their box office flops. They can't make $1 billion no more. But talking about Marvel. The reality of the situation is they're doing an Apple. I would not be surprised if Nintendo just releases their Switch 3, Switch 4, Switch 5, Switch 6, Switch 7, Switch 8, Switch 9, or excuse me, there's no Switch 9, Switch X, Switch XR, Switch 12 Pro Max. I'm doing too much now. Oh my god. I'm telling you. You think I'm playing. You think I'm messing around. This shit's serious. Nintendo is about, watch. They're about to release their console, and with every console, there are going to be small incremental upgrades. Watch, the next Switch is going to have an AI feature caked in. Why does it need an AI assistant? Who knows? But it can open up your games for you. Your games that you bought with their Nintendo key cards because they took away physical fucking games. But hey, you know, and then they're going to take away your right to own those games and to use those games if they choose to see fit. Because what? All because you wanted to use your piece of hardware for way more than Nintendo was allowing you to? Like, how are we justifying this? See, I have the Nintendo. Okay, so for reference, I have the Nintendo Switch expansion pack, and I love it. Same thing with Xbox Live. I had Xbox Live or Xbox Cloud Gaming. I loved it, right? Because the way that I justified it is I get to play games I otherwise could not play, and I'll get to play them now. And then come next year, I don't have to get it again if I don't want to. Nintendo Switch Online is not that expensive compared to Xbox Live, but Xbox Live has a way bigger video game collection. I'm getting slightly off topic here because now I'm talking about the Switch 2 and how Nintendo absolutely screwed the launch of the Switch 2. But anyway, back to the video.
Comes to drifting and handling compared to the looser controls of World. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe even felt slower to an extent because there's really less to do on the track compared to World where you're constantly...
Okay, now this was the part where I had written the comment. That was the comment that I had written. I don't even think I got to the rest of the comments, did I? Yeah, right. Okay, I guess I can talk about this now. Yeah, but we're comparing the games as a whole. This is what I said earlier. You can't actively ignore things that made Mario Kart 8 Deluxe fantastic at launch just to prove your point that the world is better. Come on now. Like, no, because actively say, and then I added more because I got further in the video. I got a little bit further in the video, and I said no, because actively saying that Mario Kart, going back to the title of his video, actively saying Mario Kart. Oh, this is my other account, by the way. Actively saying that Mario Kart World is an upgrade over Deluxe 8. And personally, I'm of the opinion that World is the worst best Mario. I saw a video made by somebody. I don't remember who the video was made by, but somebody titled it the worst best Mario Kart, and I agree with that. I agree. The game could have been peak. It could have been peak Mario Kart, but there are so many issues. There are so many issues that Nintendo created. Like, there are issues with the game itself, which usually gamers will overlook, because usually there are always issues with games at launch. But Nintendo has created so many issues for themselves. For starters, where's 200cc for a straight line simulator, which, by the way, this is something that he actively wants to ignore. He wants to separate, and this is why I said I'm going to go in later in the video. He wants to separate the intermission tracks from the actual races. Like, what are you talking about? When Nintendo is actively forcing you, oh, quit drinking Nintendo's Kool-Aid is so crazy. I just caught that. That is so crazy. No, let me focus. Let me lock in, okay? Because he's separating the interlude, intercourse, whatever they're called. I don't even know what they're called anymore. But he's actively separating these tracks from the rest of the Mario Kart world, like track selection, like the actual courses and cups, like they're different. Like, it's like Nintendo isn't forcing you to play them. See, I would accept that argument if it was just a side thing, if it was just an addendum, if it was just a booster course pack, right? Excuse me, right? Like, if it was just something on the side a la carte, you know what I'm talking about? If you're fancy like that, but no, Nintendo is actively promoting this garbage like it's actually a part of their games, and I'm telling you, they have over 200 of these things. Dog, when are you ever getting to play? Oh, but just play Knockout Tour. Just play Knockout Tour. Knockout Tour makes the straight line simulator fun. If they knew their races were going to be this fucking boring, why wouldn't they release 200cc? Explain. Help me understand why they wouldn't just release 200cc. How hard is it to program? I'm not a programmer, so I'm not going to really be like that. But how hard is it to really go from 150cc to 200? How hard is that? No, but you know what Nintendo did? You know what Nintendo did? And I called it out too. I said, for a straight line simulator, 200cc really could have saved this game. Guess I'll wait till when that DLC come out. Laugh, cry, Nintendo, eye roll. Really? Is that what it is now? Because that's what I did with the Switch 1. Shoot, y'all people don't understand. But I just got the Switch 1. And now I'm seeing a massive catalog of Switch 1 titles. I'm seeing a massive catalog of third-party games that are ported to the Switch 1. I'm seeing Subnautica. I'm seeing Undertale. I'm seeing The Witcher. Like, this is fantastic. This is phenomenal. And it's all handheld, too. That's the best part about all this. And if you have a hotspot, guess you're going to be playing Mario Kart Online anywhere. It's amazing what they did with the Switch 1. It is amazing. Okay? And you would expect them to put a little bit more effort into the Switch 2. Why? Because they decided to release it at a higher price point. And it doesn't even come with an OLED screen. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I just got to the part in your video where you talk about... Okay, well, that's later on. I don't remember where that is, but it was funny because he talked about... he actually mentioned it later in the video that Mario Kart... And it was probably in the section where what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe does better. He mentions that Mario Kart 8 having 200cc, and I put the dead emoji because it's like... He's just glossed back to what I was saying, back to the first point, back to the real thing that I have a problem with in this video, okay, other than the last part of the video, which I will talk about. I will bring that back at the end of the video, okay? I will. I absolutely will bring this back at the end of the video, okay? But the main issue that we're having here, the main problem with this, is that he is actively glossing... This guy is delusional. He is actively glossing over all of the things that make Mario Kart Deluxe 8 a better game than Mario Kart World, and then telling people, oh, go ahead and talk about how Mario Kart World is so much better. Like, what are we talking about? Dog, what are we talking about? How are you going to actively overlook the things that make Mario Kart World, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, better than Mario Kart World, while meanwhile just glossing over all the problems like, oh, I'm sure it'll get fixed. Like, Nintendo just released a fake fucking update. In what world, in what way do you think that Nintendo is going to fix any of this shit? Be for real, dog. Be for real. Be for real. Okay, I have to see this because I saw this earlier. No, it's not. Quit drinking Nintendo's Kool-Aid. Having my own independent thoughts about Mario Kart World instead of the NPC. Lay $80. But my NPCs. My $80. My $80. My NPC. See what he's doing? See what he's doing? See what he's doing. It's not NPC if I feel the game fails to justify its asking price. See what he's doing. I don't care if it's $80. I don't care if it's $90. I don't care if it's $120. If you're going to charge more for a Mario Kart game than the last game installment in the franchise that came out 10 years ago when people are practically salivating at the mouth for a new Mario Kart game, at least make sure that it justifies the asking price. At least make sure that it's better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But this jackass is going to call everybody NPCs. He says, let's be respectful, and then proceeds to call everybody fucking NPCs. Jackass. Yeah, I've said it so many times in this video. Everybody talking about how 8 Deluxe. Okay, we have the one person in support of Mario Kart World. The open world feels empty. Criticism baffles me because it's not an open world game. Yeah. See, here's why. Look. And I'm gonna explain this. I love how I'm doing everything backwards. I haven't even gotten through the entire video. But here's why Mario Kart World. Here's why Mario Kart World's open world is such a problem. It's a problem because them designing an open world took away from them actually enhancing the racing aspects. Like, what if instead of making 200 interlude, intercourse, interlap, whatever you call them, straight line simulators, instead of making 200 of those tracks, imagine if they just made 50. Imagine if they made just 50 more of the circuits. Imagine if they made 50 more circuits. Paid advert maybe? Yeah, I think it's a psyop too. I absolutely. And Nintendo, by the way, if y'all want to shut me up, y'all better have me a Switch 2 and wrapped in a nice little bow package with that Mario Kart. Meanwhile, Nintendo influencers be like, that's not even funny. That is not even funny. Oh my god. Okay. Let's get off the video.
Tricking and riding on walls. But I urge anyone who's exclusively played World for the last month to just do one normal race in 8 Deluxe again to see what I mean. It just feels so...
See, he says normal race. What is a normal race? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has several different game modes. What is a normal... Oh, you mean a normal online race? Where what? If you're not above 5,000 BR or CR, whatever it's called, you're going to be playing at 100cc? Yeah, I bet he didn't know that, huh? I bet this dumbass didn't know that you have to be a certain... I mean, I say that, but he's probably got like 10,000 or 100,000. He's probably maxed out on it already, right? But he probably didn't know that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will actively give you 100cc races. He probably didn't know that. Dumbass. For somebody that's probably played 8 Deluxe for 10 years. You play Mario Kart World for 1 month and you've already fucking forgotten. Give me a goddamn break. Yeah, I'm pissed.
Standard and stiff relative to the free-flowing handling of World. Drafting in World is also so broken because there are 24 players. Favorite. In Mario Kart World, you ride on water like a jet ski, which when first playing...
Talking about the water mechanics, and quite frankly, I'm not the craziest about the underwater mechanics in 8 Deluxe, and I'm also not... Well, he actually talks about how he doesn't really like the water mechanics in World, but again, these are not the defining factors for why I would purchase or not purchase the game. The fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has underwater driving, and the fact that Mario Kart World has jet ski driving is not what's going to make or break the game for me.
Game I thought was such a... It's a cool change to the series and very unique where you need to correct your position after making a jump, so performing a right or left trick helps with that. It's great for dodging hazards as well as aligning to... For the first, this helps players align themselves while in the air, which is absolutely huge. There are many instances where you need to correct your position after making a jump, so performing a right or left trick. For the first time ever, you're able to perform multiple tricks in the air. Now, performing more tricks doesn't mean you get more of a boost, so everything after the first trick is just performative. But allowing multiple air tricks does help players align themselves while in the air, which is absolutely huge. There are many instances...
Yeah, see, like, this is what pisses me off, right? And this is... Do not accept this bullshit from Nintendo stands. Don't accept it. Listen to this. In Mario Kart, and I'm not even good at this mechanic, by the way. I'm trying to get good at Mario Kart Deluxe 8. I am trying, even though they just had like the last official tournaments or whatever, Mario Kart Deluxe 8, since Mario Kart World is a thing now. Which I'm just being honest. If I blow up and I have the resources to, I will absolutely host Mario Kart Deluxe 8 tournaments. I will, and I will make it so official. Because if they don't fix this game by the time whatever happens, okay, I promise you, I will keep this game alive. We will. Because I'm taking a stand against Nintendo. I am taking a stand against Nintendo. I am. I'll still play their games because I liked what Nintendo used to be, what Nintendo used to represent, but this has just gotten ridiculous. That being said, what was that? Oh, that's right. Mario Kart Deluxe 8 has this mechanic where if you trick left and you're turning left, it makes you take a narrow turn. Like you drift immediately into the left turn. If you trick right and you're drifting left, you're turning left, it'll make you take a much wider turn. Now, he's over here talking about how you can realign yourself in midair. Well, what about aligning yourself into and out of turns? Like, he actively ignores gaming mechanics in Mario Kart Deluxe 8 to make his point that Mario Kart World is better. Like, you have to understand this. And I'm not hating on everything that this man has said about Mario Kart World, because I think I'm not saying that Mario Kart World is the worst game ever, right? But if we're going to say that Mario Kart World is a massive, by the way, that's what he said, not me. God forbid he changes the title of his video after seeing this. Massive upgrade over 8 Deluxe. Well, I rest my case. See, and none of this would have happened, by the way, if he didn't piss me off. He pissed me off by deleting my comment, so now I have to make a hit piece talking about him. I will destroy these Nintendo fanboys. What else?
Lastly, I want to go over what makes something meta in both games. Why I mention this is because many people complain about character diversity, which I don't have much of a problem with, but I see why players get frustrated by only seeing one character dominate every lobby. Luckily, in Mario Kart World, the kart you use is much more important than the character stats, which means we see a wide variety of characters in competitive settings. Right now, the meta is leaning towards lighter to middleweights, with the most popular characters being Toadette.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, I think he's right, but I also think he's wrong. And here's why I think he's wrong. Because, like, if you're not the best of the best of the best of the best, it's not going to matter all that much. So he's not entirely correct. However, if you're just like, if you're just an average if you're just an average Mario Kart 8 Deluxe player, you are not gonna notice that big of a difference, unless you're actively choosing one of the slower karts. If you're actively choosing one of the slower karts, you're not gonna notice a difference. You're going to notice a difference. If you're choosing if you're choosing just like he's saying about the small characters being the meta, that's kind of the same meta in Mario Kart World. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Except Mario Kart 8 Deluxe adds kart mechanics. So you want to try to get a kart with high acceleration, low speed. Why? Because the mini turbos are everything. The drifting in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is everything. It feels like drifting is the core mechanic in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, other than the anti-gravity. Like, the tricks, the drifting, and the anti-gravity are the three main mechanics in Mario Kart Deluxe 8. There is bagging, and I will complain and criticize the bagging, but the bagging is 80 times worse in Mario Kart World. So I don't know in what world we're saying that Mario, like, again, massive upgrade. That's what he said, not me.
Nabbit and Daisy, but if you couldn't already tell, my main is a lightweight, Fishbone. Another card I recommend is the Mock Rocket for both the games.
Hey, I'm Haley Gordon, and as a college soccer player, I'm outside training gear.
If you want to see all that, then you can go ahead and do that. For me, not me muting the one black girl doing an advertisement. I gotta encourage our young African American females to get their bag. But for CBS, that's crazy.
Forcing into this video, which is the OST. The OST in Mario Kart World is just some of the best I've heard from a video game in years.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Take. I heard that the Mario Kart OST for World is like a remix of a lot of old classic songs, and that's like always crazy that they do that. Next.
Tracks to choose from. So here's a few. mission tracks, you're able to listen to some amazing music from past Mario Kart or Mario titles in general. I have so many I want to share as examples, but we'd be here all day because there are hundreds of amazing tracks to choose from. So here's a few.
Okay, if y'all want to listen to the music, you can do that at your own time.
Next, I want to bring up Knockout Tour because I've kind of ignored that the entire video.
Knockout Tour is hands down the best feature in Mario Kart World, and it's what's actively saving Mario Kart World. Every streamer that I see playing Mario Kart World is playing Knockout Tour. Point blank period. I have nothing else to say.
An absolute masterclass. First off, what the part? They kind of half committed to making it look like Galaxy and the Comet Observatory when in reality, it just looks like a weird distortion.
Okay, now he's just gonna talk about random miscellaneous,
And the Koopalings. I thought
so he's talking about the lack of characters. The lack of characters. Yeah, that's an issue.
in the New Soup series. That has to do with the
Talking about the graphic change and like the animation style change and stuff. I guess that's not what we're really here for, right? That's not gonna make or break the game.
and they all feel too open. Not only
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're an hour into this video. Here we go. Here we go.
Look, I'm sure you know the number one answer to this question, but before we get to that, let me discuss some other areas in which Mario Kart World sort of regressed relative to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or the rest of the Mario Kart series. First, battle mode is atrocious in this game. They did the thing again where they use tracks instead of actual battle courses, and they all feel too open. Not only did they remove 3 battle games that were in 8.
You see, this is why this is so heinous. This is why this is so heinous, okay? What makes this such an issue in this game is that they did the same crap in Mario Kart Deluxe, or Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. They did the same crap, and people screamed to the high heavens about this being the worst decision they ever made. They thought, oh, we fixed it because we made it more close, so you can't just drive around the track. But why would they not just make unique... Anyway, and they got rid of the extra modes, but anyway. What else? Hello? What are we doing here?
Done was merge all of the costume variants into a drop-down menu for the vanilla character, just like 8 Deluxe does with the color options. It just takes a while to scroll through the menu and find who you want to play as, and it's really unnecessary. Same goes with the carts. I don't like how it's a scroller. Mario Kart Wii had all of the options on one page, albeit there were less carts. I also wish it showed all of the stats of the carts when you pressed Y instead of leaving much of them hidden because Nintendo loves keeping with the hidden stats. Sorta similar, but I wish there was more creativity in Versus mode. There are no more custom items, which is behind free roam or time trials, for example. The way to unlock the costumes and NPC characters are pretty
They put zero effort into the open world. They just made an open world, made it look good, copied the map of the not the Breath of the Wild, and then called it a day. They put zero effort into the open world. But you know what? You've probably already heard those critics. Like, I'm not going to waste your time with things that you've probably already heard. This is mainly a hit piece because this guy was talking out of his rear end if he thinks Mario Kart World is a massive upgrade over Deluxe.
tedious, and I think adding an additional way to unlock them along with the cameo first has to do with the fact that you automatically trick off racers when you land on them from atop. A lot of times you do it unintentionally, can't see it, or so other racers don't automatically get rid of your item by colliding into it. One more thing I will mention has to do with the online VR system. I don't like it. I love how challenging it is now, but it almost feels too strict to where everyone ends up stagnating in around the 8000s. That's because when you're low VR, it's super easy to gain hundreds of VR after every race, despite where you finish. But once you're already up there, it is impossible.
Oh, they ruined that then. They ruined that. They ruined that. Mario Kart Deluxe 8 VR is great.
To gain more than like 20 VR. Speaking of online, the connected tracks are so bad in this game. It is literally just...
Here we go. So this is the section that he proceeds to spend time talking about.
Straight line simulator as...
Hey, he said it. He said it, not me. I didn't say it. He said it. He said he bought the game and paid for the game and played the game on the brand new console. He said it. He said it. Straight line simulator. Ladies and gentlemen, we have it. We have it. The game, Straight Line Simulator. Straight Line Simulator is a massive upgrade over Deluxe 8. We got it. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the headline. Over 200 of these courses Nintendo made. 200. Right? 200 courses. And they couldn't give us 200cc. Fuck up out of here, Nintendo. Look at this. They are straight lines. Straight line. Straight line. Straight line. And then you get the track. And then you get the track. Squiggle, 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 straight line. Kind of straight line, squiggle. Straight line. Straight line. Straight line. Long curve, straight line, squiggle, a straight line, a couple of squiggles, but for the most part, a straight line, and whatever this part is, a straight line, How the fuck can you justify this? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has like 92 tracks. It has like over 100 tracks. How can you justify this? And it costs... See, if it was the same price, I wouldn't care. Because if you already own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and you wanted to buy Mario Kart World and you're like, oh, okay, I'll get the new game. Like, fine. The problem is, they charged more. They charged more money for a worse racing simulator. And then, going back to this section before, he wants to try to justify that the driving is better. He wants to try to say that why wasn't this talked about in the driving section? Oh, because we're just talking about the driving. And when he's talking about doing mid-air tricks, and he's talking about all this other crap that you get, even in the mechanics section, he's talking about rail riding, grinding, doing all this wall riding, driving, just that and the third. He's not even talking about the intermission courses. He's not. Because on the intermission courses, you're not doing any of this shit. It's just straight line driving, and I've seen it for myself. I've seen it. I have seen several, a dozen hours. Okay, maybe I've seen like a dozen hours, several dozen. I need to calm down. I've seen a dozen hours of gameplay of this game. And for the most part, on all of these intermission tracks, they will have certain shortcuts, and there are certain areas where you can skip. Like, for example, right here. Like, if you got a golden mushroom... Oh, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm pointing at. I'm stupid. Okay, right here. If you can see, if you got a golden mushroom right over here, you can cut right to there. Wow. Where else can you do this? Right... Well, that's a little bit ridiculous. Like, right here, you get a golden mushroom. Wow, you're in first place. Is there somewhere else you could do this? Maybe over here. I don't know what the track actually looks like, so maybe you can't do that. But, like, for example, over here. Wow. Wow. Yeah, those are things that you can do. But for the most part, that's all you could do with the intermission courses. It's just a wide open lane that you could see the open world that they built and how beautiful everything is. Wow, and look at how amazing the graphics are. Totally justifies paying $80 for this game, or buying it with a $500 console. I'm done. I'm done. No, I'm done. I am done. Let's see what else he has.
That brings me to the day Mario Kart World died.
Oh my god. And then we don't even get to the worst part. It's been an hour and 9 minutes into this video, and we haven't even gotten to the worst part of what Nintendo did with this bullshit. How do you release a semi-decent game and then kill it? How do you do that? And how do you sit here and make a video fucking justifying this shit? This is just... Man, I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just playing the video.
Playing the connected tracks. Nintendo has caught on to this, and instead of recognizing that an overwhelming amount of the community does not want to play straight lines, they doubled down and made the random option only have a small chance of selecting a 3-lap track instead of it being guaranteed. We have been asking Nintendo since the game came out to just add a method for us to play only the actual tracks online.
Hey, dumbass. Have you ever heard of voting with your dollar? No, clearly you haven't. Fucking Nintendo shill dumbass. Retard. Why would you support a fucking company that doesn't give two shits about you? That makes you look stupid. That makes you look dumb, buddy. Not me. I bought the Switch 1 and I'm happy with it. I get to play all these games. I'm playing The Witcher 3 in my own spare time, and it's an amazing game. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I have no complaints. I'm playing Subnautica. No complaints. I'm playing Undertale, Deltarune. I saw they got like a Lego Star Wars game. And it's on sale for like $15. This is amazing. The only complaint I have is about their main titles on the Nintendo Online Shop never going on sale, and if they do, not for more than like 20%. But I can buy aftermarket. I can buy secondhand, right? I could get the physical games. So I love that I have the option and the opportunity to buy online games if I want to, but I also have the option and the opportunity to buy the physical games. And I'm starting a game collection. I have Danganronpa Decadence, which came with 4 games. This is amazing. And I have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I was thinking about getting 3D All-Stars, but since I have the Nintendo expansion pack, I'm like, well, I could just dig out my Wii and play Mario Galaxy on that, because that's the real reason why I want that, is for Mario Galaxy. But, and maybe Mario Sunshine too. Sunshine. But I can't justify spending over $100 on it, which is what's going in the aftermarket. And also, I really appreciate the fact that a lot of people are complaining about the fact that Nintendo games don't ever go on sale, even the ones that are 10 years old. And I actually appreciate that. And you might have some flack against me, but like, look, the aftermarket, the Nintendo aftermarket is alive. Nintendo has protected their aftermarket. Why? Because they don't release their games for $2. If they like people missed the 3DS era, and you have to understand that Nintendo during the 3DS era was going broke and bankrupt, so they had to do whatever they needed to survive. And also, a lot of the games that they had for their platform, the 3DS or the DS, they were cheap. They were not very expensive to make. They were cheap. They were 8-bit, or I don't know if they're actually 8, but you know what I mean by that. Like the vintage, really booty graphic style games, like mainly like the RPG titles. Maybe a couple of platformers, and the occasional Mario Kart. Like, even with the launch of the Wii, the games weren't that expensive. Now if you try to buy Wii games, it's crazy. But I personally like that, because guess what? If I build a game collection, I know that 10 years later, I'm going to be able to sell my games and people are going to want to play them. That's fantastic. But look, I don't understand how you can sit here and support a company that doesn't give 2 craps about their fan base. And we caught them too, but he's going to explain all of it.
But instead of listening, they were so upset that people tried to beat the system by choosing random and made it so that we can't play the game how we want. This is so typical of Nintendo. They do this all the time. Something I've realized about them is they make games how they want and force players to play the game according to their vision. They want everyone to play the Nintendo way, and the moment people try to play the games how they want, they squish it like a bug.
That's not true. That's not what's going on. That's not what's happening. This is what's happening with Nintendo. You see, to understand Nintendo, you have to understand Japanese culture. And to admit that they were wrong is like basically admitting defeat. Nintendo is not going to admit defeat. They are not going to admit that they were wrong. It's not that they want people to play their game the way that they want to. The issue is nobody likes the intermission courses. And Nintendo spent a lot of time and effort designing the intermission courses. And in fact, that, if you remember from the launch of the game, that was one of the main reasons for why they priced the game so high, because Mario Kart Deluxe 8 Deluxe had over 100 tracks. Mario Kart World has over 300, or have over like 300, right? If there's 200 plus intermission courses, and there's about like 30 regular tracks, regular circuit courses, go ahead and do the math. That's like over 250, right? But when they realized that nobody wanted to play their game, they got frustrated. They felt like it was a waste of their time. But they're not going to admit that they're wrong. And so what happened?
Saw that people did not respond well to the presence of connected tracks, and instead of tweaking the game to make it more enjoyable for the majority of the community, they said, nope, the players are wrong, and made it so that's the only way you can play the game now. All because they viewed the community as not playing their game as intended. Look, I understand they spent 7+ years making the 100+ connected tracks all for an open world experience. But that's the thing, they only thought about the idea conceptually. They did not imagine how it would actually play out, which ended up being really boring. They have to read the room. The majority of the players want to play the actual tracks because that's what we've known and loved.
No, I'm gonna fix his point there. The majority of players want to play the actual tracks because they want to play a racing game, not a straight line simulator. That's why people are playing Mario Kart Deluxe 8 Deluxe. I keep saying Deluxe first, but it's 8 Deluxe. That's why people are playing this game. Do you know why? Because we love cornering. We love this whole idea that if you're behind somebody, you can save 1 to 2 seconds at every single corner by taking the tightest racing lines. We like that. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe feels like Mario Kart Wii, but more modern. Mario Kart World feels like a completely foreign game. And there are certain aspects of that that are great, but there are other aspects of that that suck. These would be one of those aspects. The whole 200 courses that they keep bragging about are basically just straight lines, and nobody wants to race on it because you're not going fast enough to justify driving that far. You're not. Another thing that people hate about the tracks is bagging is such a stupid mechanic. And I will complain about it in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I will complain about it in Mario Kart World. Bagging is such an ass mechanic, and it ruins the game. We want to play a racing game. Racing implies that you're trying to go as fast as possible. When you have a game where you encourage bagging, guess what? Now you're encouraging people to not go as fast as possible. And I'm not saying you take bagging out of the game completely, because I think I like the aspect of Mario Kart second, third lap. You're in 5th place, you're in 6th place, and you get a godly item that boosts you up to 3rd or 4th. And then guess what? Hey, you can maybe try to save in some time cornering. You can get a shell or something, and then boom, or get some mushrooms, do a little shortcut skip, and boom. Just like that, you're in 2nd or 1st place. I like that. That's what made Mario Kart fun. That's what made Mario Kart fun in Mario Kart Wii, and that's what made Mario Kart fun in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, in 8 Deluxe, they relied too much on the bagging. The items were a little bit too OP. Sure, I'll admit that. as somebody who's actively playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But to sit here and act like Mario Kart World doesn't have this issue and it's not even greater, and to be honest, I find it insulting that he specifically adds a section of the video to sit here and talk about these intermission courses, like the intermission courses aren't bundled in with the 30 other like the 30 other regular tracks are just separate from the intermission courses, because they're not. Nintendo has made it a point to try to combine the two ideas, that you are playing Mario Kart World, and playing Mario Kart World means playing the intermission courses. This is why nobody is playing online, and this is why everybody's playing in Discord servers. Which I think is stupid. If you have to spend more money just to not be able to load up the game and just click online because Nintendo screwed up the launch of this game and the Switch too, like, look. That's not for me. That's all I'm going to say is that's not for me.
For 30 plus years, and that's the part of the game that has all of the cool shortcuts, tech, and obstacles. This game is probably the most technical in the series, and the main mode to play the tracks gives you next to no opportunities to use this tech.
Why wasn't this talked about in the fucking portion of this video titled Mechanics? Why wasn't this talked about in the portion of the video titled Driving? He just undermined half of his video with one sentence. Mario Kart World has to be the most technically complex game that they've ever released, but over 2/3 of the races don't give you the ability to actually use it. Yeah, retard. Why do you think everybody's upset? Why do you think Mario Kart World is not, like you say, unlike you say, is not a massive upgrade over 8 Deluxe? And on top of that, they're charging more money from that. Jackass. Yeah.
There may be some of you who actually like the connected tracks, and good for you, but the issue...
No, the connected tracks are great. Like, in all honesty, they're great. The problem is, Nintendo does not give you the choice to play them or not. And he's going to say that. He's going to say it, right? He's going to say it. He's going to make the same point that I just made, which the problem is that they don't let you choose to play it.
Here has more to do with removing choice from the players. Let me be clear, none of us are asking Nintendo to remove the connected tracks or remove the ability to play them, but instead give us an option in the game to filter them out so people can play the type of tracks they enjoy the most. But saying we haven't given them a try is such an incorrect statement because the most popular Mario Kart creators with hundreds of hours in the game say the same thing. It's just straight lines and bagging. In fact, every single fan-organized competitive setting or lounge has banned these tracks. They're that unpopular. Think I'm over-exaggerating?
No, he's not. He's being dead ass. He is being dead ass. Like I said, you gotta go on Discord just to be able to play the races you want.
Since this update, playing online worldwides have been tough because it's impossible to find a lobby with more than 14 people, and I
get full lobbies almost every time that I load onto Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. With the exception of when people leave. I get full lobbies.
never see a full lobby anymore. So many people have ditched online, and that will only worsen by the time this game isn't fresh and new anymore and other mainline titles come out. So I hope...
Okay, but Mario Kart World is a massive upgrade over 8 Deluxe. Okay. But what are we not allowed to talk about? What are we not allowed to talk about?
Issue or cope as your argument. This isn't Twitter, Reddit, or Blue Sky, so screw off if you're gonna be a dick. One thing that I also request in the comments...
Yeah, but he's gonna actively be a dick to other people, but if I'm a dick to him, he's gonna remove my comment, which I wasn't. I was being so respectful when I made that point. In fact, I was calling out Nintendo for their crap more than I was calling out him. But no, he took that personally. So guess what, jackass, fucking retard? I took it personally too.
Says that we refrain from using the price of the game as a factor.
But what are we not allowed to talk about?
Also request in the comments is that we refrain from using the price of the game as...
Man, get this jackass off my fucking screen, bro. This is fucking ridiculous. Everybody in the comment section, go fucking bully this guy, Anthmags, okay, whoever sees this, ends up seeing this, please fucking go bully this guy. I'm serious, because jackasses like him are the reason why the gaming industry is extorting the fuck out of us during an economic goddamn crisis. Yeah, jackass. I don't want to see this shit anymore. Cue my fucking music. Play me out. To summarize everything in this video, the main issue that I have with everything that this guy said, that this guy Anthmags said, is that he is actively, like I said, there are 2 points. At the beginning of this video, I said 2 points. He is actively ignoring everything in this everything that made Mario Kart 8 Deluxe great, just to prove a point that Mario Kart World is better. He's actively ignoring all of the things in Mario Kart Deluxe 8 that made it so great, that made it last for over 10 years. Like he's actively ignoring that. And then on top of that, he has the audacity to tell you how to sit here and lie so blatantly by saying, "Oh, we're gonna allow you to have an open conversation," and then he's actively deleting comments. Listen, jackass, fucking retard. If you want to sit here and shill for a fucking company that doesn't give you give two fucks about you, go ahead. That's your own prerogative. But don't sit here and fucking lie to your fan base talking about let's have an open discussion, and then sit here and call people fucking NPCs and talk about like my $80, my $80. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Sit here and lie to your fucking fan base. Yeah, I wish you would make fucking videos on YouTube. I wish you would fucking shill for Nintendo. I wish you would fucking ruin the quality of games for all of us. For all of us. Why do you people even support this crap? Why would you even play the fucking game? If you stopped playing the game, Nintendo would have to do something. Just go play fucking Donkey Kong Bonanza. Because if you stopped playing this game, I guarantee you, give it 10 days, Nintendo already would change things. And I feel like at some point he addressed, I didn't get to it because I was too upset with this jackass retard. But he mentioned that Nintendo in a recent update claims that they actually addressed it. Now I'm so done with this fucking retard. We're gonna go to somebody that actually makes good content. I know y'all know who this is. I know y'all know. This guy right here. This guy, Shortcat.
It is official. Mario Kart World Online is...
Shortcat. He makes Mario Kart World content. I have no problem with this guy, because at least this guy has the audacity to call Nintendo out for their bullshit. You know what this guy did, Shortcat? By the way, if you're not subscribed to Shortcat already, go subscribe to Shortcat. If you're somebody that disagrees with me and you like Mario Kart World, go subscribe to Shortcat. You know what this guy did? This guy, I don't remember where the video is. Thanks, Nintendo. Thanks, Nintendo. Thanks, Nintendo. Yes. This guy actually has the audacity to call Nintendo out for their
They want to be
crap.
close.
Call Nintendo out for their bullshit crap. And you know what? I support that. If he likes Mario Kart World, that's fine. You're allowed to like Mario Kart World. Whatever that last guy's name was, I already forgot because he's irrelevant. If you want to like Mario Kart World, you're allowed to like Mario Kart World. You're allowed to. But you know what this guy did?
2.0. But what does that mean? The number one change that everyone had complained about in the past and now looks like it's being addressed is actually a bunch of nothing, and there's one little patch note that has completely changed the underlying mechanics of Mario Kart World. This is just classic Nintendo patch notes not making sense. So today I'll explain to you exactly what's happening and what has changed. After a month, Nintendo finally released a new...
I'm not going to sit here and go through the entire video. I'm not. But I wanted to... I wanted to play the part that's important.
Races in the race mode. In the track selection, you usually have 3 intermission tracks, and this means you play from one track to another instead of driving 3 laps around a track. And there's also the random option. Now, sometimes it would be 2 intermission tracks and a regular 3-lap track would show up, and you can pick that and you'll just play 3 laps of that one. However, most of the time, if you wanted to play a regular track online, you would have to pick random. Because for some reason, random would always give a regular track, so you'd have lobbies full of people picking random. And then when Nintendo dropped this update, they changed how random works. Instead of giving you any of the 30 regular tracks, almost always just gives you something that was already on the select screen, which means usually it gives you an intermission track again. And for a lot of people, this one change completely killed online worldwides, and that's why we have something like the Mario Kart World Discord, where people play in friend lobbies where you can press plus to change to a different track and you can pick any track you want, and that's how we've been playing the regular tracks. Nothing against the concept of intermission tracks, they were just not executed well and a lot of people don't like them. So now they've increased the frequency of lap type courses appearing in the selection, which means now the lap type course more often will show up in the selection. So if you want to play regular tracks, you can just pick these when they show up. Which means online worldwides are saved if it were any other company making these patch notes other than Nintendo. I hate when I have to point this out, but there is a lot of misinformation from more casual Mario Kart creators and just going around the internet in general from everyone saying that...
Pause, because who he talking about? Who is he talking about? Who is he talking about? I'm going to tell you who he talking about. I'm going to tell you exactly who
It is official. Mario Kart...
Exactly who he talking about. Who is he talking about? Who is he talking about?
Donkey Kong, who? We got a new Mario Kart. No, I'm actually serious. After 11...
No, because who was he talking about?
Mario Kart World is now version 1.2.0. But what is that? Your online world... Not very fun for me. At least not nearly as fun as playing the regular tracks in competitive or in Discord lobbies.
Look, you're allowed to enjoy Mario Kart World, but just don't sit here and actively lie about the game. Nintendo is an ass company, and Shortcat has at least enough integrity to call it out. So, well done, Shortcat. And I didn't even get to the part where I wanted to get to.
We'll get to the other patch notes here, 10% to 30%, I don't know. And I hate the amount of misinformation going around of people thinking that this has actually fixed anything at all. The frequency of playing regular tracks online has not increased to the point where I think this makes a big difference for nearly anybody. If you want to play intermissions, you go play online worldwide, and if you want to play regular tracks, you don't play online worldwide. And that's still exactly how it's going to be. There's still that divide. And Nintendo has still not given us an option to play mostly regular tracks online. And this is exactly the same as in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe when the Wave 6 DLC came out and they made a change to bagging. Yes, it nerfed bagging, but people literally thought that bagging got patched out of the game, when in reality it nerfed bagging by like 5% and it made almost no difference to online play. And this was misinformation that I was putting up with for the entire rest of the life of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
So yeah, this guy went from playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe to then playing Mario Kart World when it came out.
Please, if anyone tells you that Nintendo has listened to the feedback and changed their online worldwides because of this one sentence, please inform them that pretty much nothing has changed. Playing online worldwides is still just a bunch of intermissions. If you like it, go play it. Just don't go listen to what one person said about it based on one sentence in a vague patch note and then spread lies about it. All right.
Now, I wanted to find the part. I didn't find the part, but in this video, and go watch this video. I will tell you to go watch this video. There is no debate or there is no choice here. You just need to go watch this video if you're a Mario Kart World player or if you're thinking about getting Mario Kart World. But Shortcat basically went into the game and played through several races with his friend, and he did the math and literally played through the races, played through like 30 or something races, 50 or something races, and he found that there was no significant change to the frequency of lap type courses in online. He actually did the work. Like I said, there's a difference between YouTubers that have integrity and retarded jackasses. Fucking shills. It's disgusting. Anyway, now we're about to fucking take this shit out. Take this shit out. Bring us back. Take this shit out. I just think that it's ridiculous how much fucking propaganda and misinformation, like he said, is going around with Nintendo. Just because you love Nintendo, just because you love everything they do, does not mean that they are a great company, or in fact that this game even justifies the price change. I don't understand in what world are people possibly thinking that. Now, I can understand if you wanted to buy the new console just to buy the new console. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, Forecast, as upset as he is with some of this Nintendo crap, I don't think he's really ever been like, oh, I'm not gonna buy this thing. Like, he's been very clear with how he feels about this, and that just speaks to his character. Versus other individuals, the two other individuals, by the way, that we're gonna talk about, which is the Nintendo influencer that makes a bunch of content hating on Nintendo and then proceeds to get a Switch 2. Or the other Nintendo influencer that actively promotes Mario Kart World and tries to ignore all of the glaring issues with the game and the console. Anyway, this has been a Swift rant. Stay frosty, stay sweet. Swift Master 1 out.